Good morning, everybody. I'm Coach Tom. Welcome to my channel, Creating Your New Reality. I'm a self-actualization coach. What that means is that I help people cultivate, develop, and then express their true, authentic selves in the areas of their careers, personal relationships, and self-development. Are you ready? Let's go. Now, you're checking this out on a Sunday. I want to wish you a happy Sunday. The topic I want to go over today is developing your spiritual strength, okay? You want to write that down, developing your spiritual strength. Now, why do you need to do that? Because generally what happens is this world is, for lack of a better term, what we often manifest is we're beset by things, okay? We wake up and we are pressured by our own reality. We're pressured by how much money we do or don't have in the bank. We're pressured by relationships that may or may not be working. We're pressured by these things, these forces that we think are aligning against us. There's a whole bunch of things that happen in this world that I'll leave this for another video, but a lot of things we can control in this world. There are a lot of things that we don't feel we can't, or maybe you haven't learned how to control them yet. And sometimes there are things that out in the world that you don't really have any direct bearing over, maybe like the stock market tanking, or you just got a layoff notice, something like that, okay? There are a lot of things that can hurt us, okay? And unfortunately, what we tend to do is we tend to really react and overreact to what we call our 3D reality. And the 3D reality is what we're experiencing now. For example, I know in my 3D right now, I'm standing here looking into my phone, running my mouth, talking about things, okay? And I'm filming a video for you. So that's my 3D reality. That's what's happening now. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to go to my day job, do all kinds of cool stuff. That's what I mean. A 3D reality is what's happening now, what you are currently seeing, what you're currently manifesting, what is currently revealing to you. And what we end up doing is we go, oh, wow, this isn't working, or this isn't what I want, or why is this causing me so much pain? And rather than going within to affect any sort of a change, what we do is we go, oh, this thing is hurting me, so I'm going to go try to inflict my will on that thing out there. And if I change that, then I'll feel better. If I bring that under my control, it will start behaving like I want. If I start controlling that person, they will do what I want. If I manipulate that person into giving me pity or love or money or whatever, then I can self-soothe and I'll just feel better. Okay, this is generally what we do. And we end up really having really a shitty experience in life when we get into that, because we don't have any roots and all we do is bounce from thing to thing to thing. And I like to use the analogy of this is when you act like that, when you're into that mode of operation, you end up really being used as the universe's cat toy. Okay, we've all had cats bat the little ball around with a bell in it. All right, and sometimes you feel like you're that little ball, and you're just bing 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 bing, and you don't know what ends up. Another analogy I like to use is it feels like you're in a washing machine, okay? It's the same cycle over and over again. It goes this way, then it goes that way, and then boom, 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 boom. And when it's out of balance, you're banging off the sides of it, making all kinds of racket. It's a mess, all right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So what I want you to think about, okay, is the concept of developing a spiritual strength, all right? Because what you need to do is you need to get yourself on a spiritual path, get yourself something you can lock into to fortify yourself. You need to look at ways to make yourself feel like you're in control, okay? That's why we like things as humans. We like things like ritual. We like things like prayer. We like things that put us in communication with a higher level. Maybe it's our higher selves. The problem with that is what we end up doing is we believe that everything is given to us by a higher power, okay? And it's a different power that our source is, but it's not really a higher power, okay? God is within you. You are God, okay? You are a creative spirit. I realized I just lost half of you out there that are Baptist. You just shut this thing off, but that's fine, all right? You have to get out of the idea that there's some entity up in the sky that is hitting you with lightning bolts and all these things. To me, one of the greatest lies that religion ever told us is God will never give me more than I can handle. Well, no, that's bullshit. Because what that does is that makes us believe that all the bad things are happening because God wants to kill me. God's teaching me something. That's what I mean. God's teaching me something. Well, you know what? Rather than torture you throughout life, why doesn't he just kill you so you learn everything and achieve immediate knowledge? All right? That's bullcrap. We're not about that here, okay? God is, the universe is a loving entity that responds to what you tell it, okay? And the love that entity shows you is direct correlation to how much love you have for yourself, okay? How much do you believe in yourself? That's what is reflected back to you in your relationship with the creative source energy, okay? Now, I know that's a pretty deep concept, but it's not this entity up there that you have to please, okay? You can't please God. God doesn't need you to do anything, okay? The universe is created, the universe runs according to its laws, and your fealty and jumping up and down and all this is not necessary, okay? You have to understand that you have to be strong in yourself and how you look at yourself, how you feel about yourself, to then get things to go your way from a spiritual realm, okay? You have to do some universal things, all right? You have to love yourself, be good to yourself, take care of yourself, do things that honor you as a person, okay? And you also have to love your neighbor, and you also have to take care of them and do all these things. Don't be a greedy asshole. And when you do these things, that develops a strength within you. Everywhere you go, you will receive favor. Okay, you will get divine favor from the universe, whatever that is to you. Am I saying that if you're nice to Aunt Esmeralda from Duluth at Christmas time that you're going to win the lottery? No, that's not what I'm talking about, all right? But what you're going to do is you are going to, if you put out a kindness vibe, a love vibe, you love your people, you do for them, you're gentle with them, they in turn will do that to you. Everything is you pushed out, okay? Everything is a reflection back at you of your inner state, okay? It's been told that if you ever go to ride a horse, okay, the horse is immediately going to reflect to you how you feel about yourself and how well in control you are of your own mind and emotions. Because if you hop on a horse and you're all scatterbrained, that horse is going to do it at once and it's going to run you right into a tree and knock you off, okay? Other people are the same way. If you show up scatterbrained and very self-conscious, very unsure of yourself, or very negative, okay, that's all going to be reflected back at you. Nothing's going to work. Everything's going to just blow up. Your life will resemble the Roadrunner cartoon, and you won't be the Roadrunner. You'll be the coyote with the big rocks falling on his head. So what you have to do is work at ways to calm yourself down and come from a very centered, loving place. Okay, and then the things out there will be reflected back to you in a good way, and then the things that you seek, the things that you are asking for, will start showing up in your life, okay? And yeah, in a way, I'm talking about law of attraction, law of assumption. It's really true, folks. Everything starts with you. You need to figure out ways to make yourself happy. You need to figure out a way to make yourself spiritually strong, so when things happen, you know, that you don't think you can control yet, before you've learned a lot of mastery, you have to go to a place that isn't God hates me, and it's not fuck the world. You know, one thing I learned growing up, okay, is I've always been hardwired for conflict, okay? I grew up really weird, where in my family, there was always dissension, discord, a lot of yelling and screaming, and you know, people in my family didn't like each other very much. My parents were not emotionally well-developed beings, okay? So what ended up happening was I became hardwired for conflict because I was tired of, you know, my parents just would basically use me for target practice, for lack of a better word, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But what I ended up doing as a result, I developed a very unhealthy coping mechanism of, you know what, I'm going to hit you first. Or if you hit me, I'm going to hit you harder, Okay, I know how to take a punch. I know how to throw a punch in the physical world, but also in the emotional world. One thing I learned why that's dangerous is that if you have a mindset, okay, of me against the world, me against you, me against that, me against this, me against me against me against, what happens is the universe is going to give me a lot of battles to fight. Okay, everything is going to be a problem. Nothing is going to be easy, whether it was making money, whether it was relationships, whether it was overcoming myself. Everything was a battle and a fight and a sparring match, and it sucked, all right? So what I had to do was really unwire that, where everything was a source of, oh, I'm just going to be pissed off and go to war every time something bad happened. No. You know, for a while when bad things would happen, I would sit and I would meditate and I would sit with whatever was bugging me until I could unwire and figure out why I was getting triggered. Okay. And I lay all that to really sitting with some spiritual teachers that knew what the heck they were talking about, and being involved in the Kundalini yoga and learning to meditate and learning to breathe and learning to just be, okay, and not be triggered, learning to overcome your triggers. That was a way that I became spiritually strong. I also found people that could teach the Bible in a way that I believe it was truly meant to be taught, where the gifts that we talk about in the book of Acts, they are available for the believer today. What's God's purpose for your life? That you have life and have it more abundantly. Well, what does that mean? All right, so we explore that. And then how do I access that? You know, it's interesting. When you go to church and eventually the preacher can't answer your questions anymore, they tell you to go into your prayer closet and let God talk to you. All right? So I started doing that. That's something else you can do. You let the universe talk to you. Just sit and be, sit and breathe. Okay. Take some time in this holiday season. You know, some of you are going to get some days off of work. Some of you have been laid off for a little bit. Take some time for yourselves, all right, and really think on these things. Let the downloads happen, okay, and then start to think about how you got to where you are, and then what you can do next. How can I be stronger in this? How would a spiritually strong person act? Would I allow this to even bother me? Should this be on my radar? You know what? I'm going to forgive that person. They don't even know they're triggering me. It's me deciding how I'm going to feel about crap. That's what's really going on. All right. So you got to do that. You got to toughen up. You got to harden up, but not at the world. Okay. You can't show your war face to everybody on the planet. If I want people to flee from me, I start projecting that side of me. And that's never good. Okay, I work at not doing that anymore. But what you have to do is harden up to where you are strong and you understand what's going on, and you don't have your spirit just spill out everywhere and run around to do unproductive things because you can't be an infant anymore. That's what happens. Usually when, we've all had kids where you look at them and when they're not happy with what's going on, the SpaghettiOs hit the floor and then they wait for you to do something about it. All right. Don't be that. Don't be that spiritual baby where you're waiting for somebody else to clean your SpaghettiOs up off the floor. Okay. Toughen up and learn to handle things so you don't even feel like chucking your SpaghettiOs on the floor. You can eat your SpaghettiOs and move on through life, okay? That's what I'm teaching you. So again, today, being Spiritual Sunday, that's a topic I like on Sundays for, I guess cultural reasons, but I want you to understand that you have to get strong. It is within you. And if you need help, if you need more support to help apply what I'm talking to your personal situation, look down below, guys. All right. I got Facebook groups that are going live. I've got an email list I'd like you to join. Download my free ebook about giving yourself a do-over, a little bit more of my story, some things that I started with. But again, hit me up on all my channels and I can help you. I'm here to help you. I love you guys. And I want to wish you a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.